Here we're gonna discuss about the functioning and the cerebrum. So basically, as I told you before, okay, here are the new cell body of the neurons, and the cell body of the neuron are present at the top of the brain. So that is why it is known as the gray matter. And here, when the thalamus, first the information stimuli comes to the thalamus, then thalamus decided at which part of the cerebrum the info should I leave. So here the axons are coming, the ascending axons are coming, and here the descending axon are coming, because when the ascending axon goes, for example, to the part of the cerebrum, so cerebrum will make the decision, and then the descending tracks means group of neurons. So then descending track will leave its response. So here the thalamus means the thalamus leaves the infos, and then it goes to the different part of the cerebrum. So here you may see that up to the thalamus, here up, this is the third ventricle and the second ventricle. Up to the ventricle, this is the the pouch or the band of the neuron is present, that is known as the corpus callosum. Corpus callosum is basically the band of the neuron that separate the right hemisphere with the left hemisphere. Okay, I hope so. Let's talk about the functioning of the medulla oblongata. So basically, medulla oblongata contain your respiratory tract, respiratory rhythm tract, your sneezing tract, your sleep, and your involuntary sudden actions what do we say, heartbeat, and these all. So basically your pons contain, the function of the pons is it contain two areas that detect your respiration, sneezing, and these all. The pons have two areas, the two functions. Okay, so if we come to the brain stem, so brain stem do the activity of reticular activity system. It is basically okay, for example, if you are going in a mall, so it will, you will detect a thing, or आप लोग समझोगे कि where should I बहुत सारे लोग हैं, अगर मैं बहुत सारे लोगों को मॉल के अंदर छोड़ दूँ तो कोई सोचेगा कि मैं यहाँ पर अपने ना कोई बिज़नेस खोल लूँ, और कोई सोचेगा कि आई शुड बाय दिस शर्ट. सो ये तो सब कुछ डिसाइड करेगा ना, ये सारी एक्टिविटीज़, तो ये आपकी जो है ना रेटिकुलर एक्टिविटी सेंटर डिसाइड करेगा. ठीक है, और क्या बोलते हैं, ये आपको मतलब सुलाने का भी काम मिलता है. सो ये कैसे करता है, when the melatonin is released from the pineal gland that was in the diencephalon. So when the diencephalon of the epithermal releases hormone, so it will activate to the reticular activational system, then you get sleep. Okay, so the work of thalamus, as I told you, that thalamus is the coordination center, and it contains 80% of the diencephalon area. Here we are going through the part and the lobes of the cerebellum. The cerebrum contains 4 lobes. In one cerebral hemisphere there are 4 lobes, and in the second cerebral hemisphere it contains another 4. So if we combine, so 2 frontal, 2 temporal, 2 occipital, 2 parietal. First is frontal lobe. So every lobe contains 3 areas. ठीक है, every lobe, frontal lobe have 3 areas, parietal lobe have 3 areas, temporal lobe have 3 areas, and occipital have 3 areas. So let us discuss the area: sensory area, motor area, and association area. So frontal lobe and the parietal lobe have the central sulcus that separate both of them, and let us discuss about the function of that. So in parietal lobe, the somatic sensory area is present. So whenever a person touches you, so first the information like the sensory area receives the information, then it sends that to the association area. Then association area will give command to the motor area, and then the motor area will be going that somebody is touching you to ask. Then motor area will go down to the spinal cord, and then your spinal cord will break. So if somebody is touching you, so the brain will command you to ask him or her to remove your hand, or like that. Or if you're coming towards the frontal lobe also have sensory, motor and association. So the special, like the frontal part of the frontal lobe is very important. That is why everybody is saying that please don't hit your head from this frontal side, because your imaginary problem solving, creativity, your decision making is only done by the frontal lobe. So frontal lobe also contain these three areas. So the motor area of the frontal lobe contain Broca's area, where the speech production happens. Okay? After then, if we come towards the occipital lobe contain the vision areas. Like it also contain the motor area, association area. For example, you saw a mosquito. So sense will go to your occipital lobe. Then in occipital lobe, association area will do the process of info. Then the motor area will be command that remove that, or like if you're watching. So the temporal lobe is like for the auditoration, means someone is giving you compliments, so it will detect your auditory. Okay.